Heyo everybody, Haku here with my live reaction for Kubera Season 2 Episode 156, the next three parts, the next three chapters of Your Justice and Mine. And I feel like, the titles always mean multiple things. I think we're starting to see what this one means with everybody else having their different plans and stuff go through, and their justices and their decisions, not fully working out. I don't want to go through the longest intro ever and give like a 20-minute discussion here at the beginning, but I also feel like there's so much to talk about. So before I even start discussing any of it, before I get back on track, I do want to say thank you for all of your comments as usual. Again, many of you write entire essays and I really appreciate it. I read everything. All of the extra input is really appreciated and I love it. All of the helping me with correcting translation issues. I feel like I usually do a pretty good job of being like, okay, this doesn't make sense, so this is probably what they mean, but it is very helpful to get confirmation from all of you. So I do just want to know, want to let you know that you are all definitely very much appreciated. So yeah, all of the comments, thank you so much. It's just that I feel like I often don't have a ton to say in response specifically to textbook information. I don't have a ton to say in response, but specifically, but I do want to at least say thank you. So yeah, all of that's appreciated, and it's gonna lead into the discussion because again, there's so many things to talk about. Talking about different people's plans, I'm feeling like I was with last read through, where I'm like, you know what, a bit of communication probably would have helped out so many characters so much, because Claude's like, I've done it, I've protected Lila, all I had to do was scheme without fully telling Saha and Asha and Lila herself what I'm actually doing, and it's worked out. And then it's like, oh hey, Lila's gone to do the summoning, blah. And then you've got Asha like, I've done it, I've killed one of the Kubera, now there's two left for whatever reason. Why two left is the goal? Like, you would figure it'd be one left or zero left. So I'm not sure why we only needed to eliminate one more, but it's like, I've killed one of the Kuberas, I've done it, we're good now, and it's leading toward whatever Asha's plan is. We don't know her endgame, so I can judge her morality, but I can't necessarily judge her effectiveness yet, because I don't know if her plan could have worked better or not. But it's like, I've done it, I've succeeded, I've done all my scheming and murdering, and then it's like, oh no, I accidentally hit Brilith, and also probably traumatized Brilith because of my betrayal, and that's going to affect Agni, and now Agni's in trouble, which means that the rest of humanity might be in trouble, unless maybe God Kubera steps in now, because there's only two Kuberas left, or the Shuras have gotten what they wanted and now they don't need to attack anymore, but it feels like if they got what they wanted, they could just wipe all the humans out. But it's like, oh crap, now I've hit Brilith as well. And you have Saha who's like, I've done it, I've saved everyone pretty much. Or at least I've exposed the evil misdeeds of Asha. I've done it, I've succeeded. All I had to do was not properly communicate with Lorraine and anybody else on my plans and everything. And then it's like, oh shoot, well, I didn't properly communicate with Lorraine, and now Lorraine has released Asha, and Asha just nothing personnel kitted us. So it's like, I feel like if every character didn't try to take on their justice so much, try to push everyone else away and scheme on their own and try to put everything on themselves, if they had been a bit more transparent, then they might not have had some of these unforeseen circumstances. Because when everybody's making plans, everybody's plans are getting in the way of each other. So there is all of that. Again, I mentioned Asha, where it's like, you can judge her morality. She has just killed somebody who was really, really good to her, and we can say that what she did, morally, at this point, she has screwed things up. But effectiveness-wise, we don't know whether or not she, succeeded in doing something good. Right now, I'm thinking that her revenge, her end goal, is something that's selfish to her, but we don't know if it's helpful for more people. And even if it is helpful for more people, I mentioned last time, I was like, she's kind of potentially screwed over humanity here for her own plans, and people are like, well, how do you know what Asha did isn't good for humanity? But it's like, even if the Shuras leave, even if the Shuras are like, oh, one of the Kuberas is dead, I guess we'll just pack up. Even if that's the case, then can the humans really be satisfied with two of the strongest magicians dying for them? One of the priests being gone? Can they be? It's like, what's Lutz going to say? If everything works out, is he just going to be like, well, I guess Asha was cool then. I guess we can, for the greater good. It's like in real life, if we were like, okay, so humanity can survive, but we got to throw these two virgins in the volcano. It's got to happen. Are we cool with that? Are we good with throwing the people in the volcano to save the rest of us? So even if the humans survive here, I feel as if they would not be completely happy with the outcome, but it just feels dangerous, because if the Shuras don't just decide for whatever reason to stop attacking, now that Brilith is both traumatized and got zapped a little bit, but her clothes protected her. It's mostly the mental trauma, because that's going to affect her vigor. Agni's in a bad situation right now. Yuta is in a bad situation right now. We have Cossack, but they've kind of made it seem like Cossack isn't necessarily a good matchup against any of the actual higher-ranking Shura that we have to deal with. Then Saha, one of the biggest, like, the greatest priest, is now gone. Lorraine is done. Asha is questionable at the moment. Lutz isn't even here. So things are looking bad if they keep attacking. If they just decide, hey, let's continue to wipe out the humans, or the, from our perspective, I guess, good guys. I don't even think that's necessarily true. I like that, again, we follow and see both perspectives from human characters and Shura characters and even God characters. I think a big thing is that God Kubera could step in now, because we're dealing with the power of the name now only being split between two of the humans. That's another thing. Again, I mentioned there being a lot of things to discuss. It is so weird to me. It's something else that I mentioned. Lee's makes sense. I'm sure she wasn't just named Kubera because she's a triple Kubera attribute, but if she was, that would make sense. But imagine, like, Saha or Lila's parents. It's like, oh, our beautiful baby boy, he was born. It's Shurya Day. Andy was born at the time of Shurya. We have a, like, really rare triple attribute baby. Let's name him after a completely different god. And Shurya's just sitting up in the god realm, up in the heavens, being like, what did they mean by this? So I guess, same thing goes with Chandra and Lila, right? Where Lila's parents are like, wow, we have a triple Chandra baby. Let's name them after Kubera. Excuse me? So that is, interesting decisions made on the part of their parents. But I think that's all I want to talk about. There's probably even more that I'm forgetting about, but I guess I can just go ahead and start reading, and we can keep discussing as we go. So, starting with 156 this time. We have Lila here with the mask off. We left on that last time, doing the Itayatu Chandra summoning. Will she make it? I wonder. Lila often mentioned that her summoning magic will always succeed. There must be something that's giving her that kind of confidence. Well, now she has 1/2 of the power of the name. If it's an equal share between the two Kuberas and God Kubera, 1/3. But if it were that simple, then why hasn't she used the skill yet? Huh? Claude, why did you teleport? Step aside, move. And he charges through and bursts in. Stop, Lila. The Shuras will retreat soon. You don't need to use your... Okay, so he is assuming that after giving the information to... he kind of set up Saha here. After giving the information to Asha taking out Saha. Though I think somebody said in the comments that Claude was probably expecting her to take out Lee's. But with one of them taken out, then... he was... Sorry, I completely lost my train of thought here. He kind of probably expected Lila to be alright, but we already knew that. I forget what I was trying to say. Oh well. I will know when I go to edit. How do you know that the Shuras will retreat soon? Okay, so he was assuming then the Shuras would retreat soon when one of the Kuberas was killed. I think that's what I was getting at. So we still don't know exactly why, though. Why is it when there's only 2 left will the Shuras retreat? Hurry up and answer me, you lower creature. If you're on the same side as the Shuras, then I'll beat the crap out of you right here. And God of Darkness, Chandra. Current appearance, 15 years old. I expected Chandra to be a woman, I'm not gonna lie. Don't know why I expected that, but that is what I expected. Then, we have Your Justice and Mine, Part 22. What on earth happened in the city? Agni? Saying that you suddenly got so weak. Obviously something must have happened to that summoner named Brillith. And he's trapped in some ice by the, I completely forgot about it being gone over. I forgot about Urvasi being here. So, God Kubera could step in. Like, I feel like the whole rest of the season is probably going to be this conflict. If not this conflict, and then a little bit of, epilogue type stuff at the end. But we've got God Kubera that could step in still. We have Gantarva who could still do something because Gantarva's a main character, has gotten some information and hasn't been around a bit. And we have Shess, who is also like a piece on the board. Who knows what, if anything, Shess will do, but he does still exist. So something could happen there. Plus, judging from the... And it kind of sucks if this is just like Corpse Puppet Urvasi. I liked Urvasi in the flashbacks. I wanted Urvasi to be an actual character. Plus, judging from the light that started shining over there a minute ago, it looks like another human named Kubera died a moment ago. Isn't it funny? The city's barrier still isn't completely broken, and we haven't even directly attacked the humans in the city, but we ended up achieving our goal. You must be stunned, Agni. You tried to help the humans, but someone ended up betraying you. Anyway, since fortune appears to be on our side this time only, I'll let you watch my plans become reality, from right there, since now I've gathered plenty of names, and there's no longer any need to fool around here. Okay. Of course, I won't stop attacking the city. Rent Hollow's a city filled with the grudge of my people. This is my chance to completely destroy it for them. Now, this is your first task, Jatayu. So, this, I forgot, like, I just listed off, oh, Gantarva could get involved, God Kubera could get involved. I completely, like, brushed over the fact that Chandra could be like, okay, it's Ananta killing time. As soon as the barrier breaks, slaughter all of the humans in the city. After all, they're nothing once you seal their magic with your ability. Also, a big sort of thing for the Agni/human side is Lee's, because we don't know how strong necessarily Lee's is right now, but she does at the very least have the sword, which could really screw up the Shuras. Then, after all, they're nothing once you seal their magic with your ability. But something seems strange. Agni's gotten weak, and now it's only a matter of time until the city's barrier breaks completely. But why did you stop the attack, somebody? So also, somebody else was taking over the barrier for Saha, right? Was it just some of his, like, priest assistants or something? Because with Saha down, you'd think that's one of 4 barriers that are screwed. I mean, currently, we see... I know Agni was supposed to be handling one of the barriers, like, technically, Brillith handling it, but Agni through Brillith. But with Claude and Lila both not handling one of the barriers, also, we've got one of the barriers not being handled. Oh, I guess, never mind. He wouldn't have been doing one of the barriers anyway. The Aero Plateau barriers would have been Mirha and Urha, I think was the other one. So it would have been those two. There's a good chance that Agni's with Saha, right? So, again, now we're having the Shuras kind of potentially doing the things that the humans were doing, where they all had their own plans, and then their plans started to conflict with each other, and they started getting surprised by each other. We could be hitting the point where, because the Shuras also kind of have their own individual plans, their plans could also start interfering with one another. There's a good chance that Agni's with Saha, right? I wonder if the barrier got weaker due to some kind of problem. We see Rana and Rana we haven't seen in a couple chapters. Why is this door open? Step aside, Ron. Hotias fiends. Hotias fiends. Ah, that's a relief. Lorraine seems to be wearing clothes with resistance to magic. But Saha, who would do such a terrible thing? Lorraine's not gonna die. I thought they were both just dead. Hotias fiends may be able to restore a mutilated body to its original form, but it can't revive them. Okay. But her saying it's a relief, at least, because of Lorraine, made me think Lorraine was going to survive. Because it's like, oh, it's a relief. I was able to put her body back together. Still dead, but at least I was able to put her body back together. I feel like that, that's not something to say, oh, that's a relief about in this situation. Then I'll freeze them at least. If we keep him frozen, later we could ask Asha to cast Hoti Vishnu for the... No, Hoti Vishnu won't work because he's on the Do Not Revive list. Saha's name has long been on the list, forbidden from being revived. So we can't revive him with Hoti Vishnu. Okay, so Lorraine is actually up. I thought she was going to be dead. I thought she was dead. And for now, I'll handle the job that Saha was doing. We can't neglect that. Just try to calm down first. You don't absolutely have to take over the turret. Ron, you can do it, right? What? Hold on, I don't have a very good turret management record. We may both be shocked, but right now Lorraine is the most shocked person of us all. Quite literally, Rana. How could she be in her right mind when her fiancé just died? I'd like to take over the turret, but it'd be better to save my vigor and use it for recovery magic. Also, is it kind of wild that these two aren't asking who did this? What's this? And they notice something with Saha? Is it a letter? The Shuras that the turrets are currently attacking, and the Shuras attacking the city are different entities. The Shura that the turrets are attacking is moving at high speeds in a cloaked state, but it doesn't appear to be able to attack the city in that state. On the other hand, the Shuras attacking the cities are using transcendental skills in a cloaked state. Okay, so this is just really screwy wording with the translation, but they mean the one attacking the city is using the transcendental skill high above Rindalo, talking about how the one doing the attack is Samfati, not the one that's distracting them, which is the Marana Hura combo then, but they're not moving around. Since there are several superior Shuras in cloaking mode, we desperately need Shurya's abilities. It would have been best if I had the ability to summon the god, but since the Great Upheaval, all 3 of my summoning attempts have failed. Thus, I'm trying to do the next best thing to summoning right now. The Shura in the air appears extremely large and powerful, so I won't be able to hit it with my Bhavati Shurya spell. But this spell paralyzes whomever it hits until they're hit with another blow, so during that time, I could stop the attack on the city and create a single chance for us to attack. They're just attacking from the same spot. The Shura probably doesn't expect that there's a human who can attack it with Shurya magic all the way from here. Okay, so it isn't that Samfati's doing something else, but as a last-ditch effort before dying, Saha might have frozen Samfati. Which means there's almost no chance that it'll dodge it. As long as I concentrate, I can hit it. And that also makes sense if he was doing something so insane as to, from this distance, paralyze Samfati, then it would make sense as to why he used up all of his vigor before meeting Lorraine and Asha. Hoti Shurya, Bhavati Shurya. And then he hits the attack, and Samfati's attacking stops. Did I push myself too hard? I'm all drained of vigor now. After being hit with the spell, the enemy's probably frozen in midair without being able to do anything. But if I don't kill them in one hit, there could be the danger of it counterattacking when it's awakened, so before that I need to work with Chandra and Mr. Cossack to perform the most powerful attack possible. If someone is reading this, I'm probably already no longer able to help you. I've already told the Temple of Darkness about the plan above, so there's no need to go there and tell them. But if Lila's summoning fails, then please tell this to Agni or Cossack. And then they're throwing in the R for Cossack when they just didn't do that a little bit higher. Lorraine, I'm sorry that I couldn't keep my promise. Oh, I promise, does he mean their engagement? We're probably going to get a flashback to something sadder. Do you know anything about this? If you caught even a glimpse of who attacked? Saha, and she cries. Saha. And then she weeps over his body. I mean, Rana did a pretty good job putting him back together. Don't pay attention to your relatives pressuring you to get married, Lorraine. They appear to be worried that putting off the wedding will ruin the engagement itself. But my heart doesn't change so easily. So, go wherever you like, whether it's a Terra or somewhere else, and live freely without worrying about what people think about you. I'll wait as long as it takes you to make up your mind. To be continued. That was a really good chapter. That was a long and dense chapter as well. So much happened. Once again. I like this stuff here. Again, Rana is kind of the MVP of this chapter, I guess. Putting them back together and all. And Lorraine surviving, which I did not expect at all. So you can tell that I definitely wasn't spoiled or anything, because I thought she was just dead. It's really cool that she's alive, though. I really like Lorraine. But Rana and Ron kind of just standing around a bit and not until the end here asking who did this, which I think should have been one of the first questions. But I like the stuff here. I love Saha's plan here and the explanation of why his vigor was so drained. The plan he was making to stop somebody, and why it is that he told Lila to go through with the summoning. I like that we get all of that explained here. That was really good. So this scene was great. The stuff before it, I like this. So Agni's been stopped for the moment, and he's probably not in the best shape because Brilith is probably going through it right now. We have Corpse Puppet Urvasi. Sagara and the Shuras are going to be going through with whatever their, Power of the Name God Kubera plan is. And then Chandra's actually been summoned, so at any point, I guess Chandra could team up with Cossack to do the Sampati taking out attack that they had planned, or that Saha had planned. Or Chandra could just be like, well, it's that time again, to the Shuras attacking the city. Okay, and again, since we have it specifically mentioned that we're going current appearance 15 years old, is the fact that that is specified to us important, and that's why it's being told to us. Is it important that Chandra is in 15-year-old form right now? But either way, we still have 2 entire other chapters to read. So, and this one was incredibly dense and long. So either way, let's go check out the afterword. Afterward, this time as Chandra, who had only appeared as a silhouette, has finally appeared. Of course, since he's a god, his age can be changed, but if Chandra were to change his age, ellipses, then Agni was caught as a bonus while going to rescue Yuta. What would have been the outcome if Brilith had been normal? So, yeah. Could he have, again, it feels weird, and a god being overpowered by Urvasi, not even one of the kings. Then again, it feels like the kings have been nerfed in the human realm. But would Agni have been able to just handle himself if not for Brilith's state? Since Rana is a recovery magic expert, she has a high tolerance for relatively cruel scenes. I didn't even think of that aspect of it. Unlike Ron, who was surprised and froze for a moment. He calculated it right away, or she calculated it right away and cast recovery magic. Then this scene was also included in episode 154 of part 2. Here I wrote Tishurya as a decisive hint to see what Saha was doing when he ran out of energy. If it's Tishurya, I don't think they'd bother to say the Ho, seeing as they hid the Ho. It's not Tishurya, but Bhavati Shurya. Okay. That's a really interesting way to look at it. There were quite a few people who had anticipated this, however there were very few who went as far as to guess that it would paralyze Samfati. Actually, you may have forgotten about the paralysis effect since it was mentioned in Part 1, but even so the accuracy rate is much lower than I expected. I felt the need to remind you of the forgotten paralyzing effect again, so Saha's letter ended up being a bit long. We have 261 empathy, very, very, very good chapter. And now I guess let's go read, what is it, 157? 157 starts with, Marna, I think we can stop now. I thought it was strange that Samfati stopped attacking before. Now I see a signal from over there. And call me what you will. But I'm doubling down. I am a bit of a Hura and Marna shipper now. What? It looks like one of the humans named Kubera died, so Sagara's pulled off. Still, does that mean Samfati should stop attacking? She must still have a great amount of vigor left. Hold on, it's not like the city's barrier broke before, so how could a Kubera have died? Is this the work of that magician too? Very impressive, even in a situation like this. What's this, Marna? You knew something? Is there a collaborator on the human side? No, the process may be the same, but ultimately it's not a collaborator. It may be the most troublesome enemy of all. It's an enemy to both us and the humans. Okay, so this is a good confirmation that Asha isn't actually working with the Shuras. They just are both trying to do the same thing. Probably for a different outcome, but they are both after killing the Kuberas. I should have killed it the moment I first saw it in Karte, but it escaped like a little rat. Okay, so Marna saw Asha in Karte. I wonder how much power it stole from the Kubera that it just killed this time. Hoti Shurya, Hoti Indra. And we have lightning striking down on Marna. And Hura turned into a puddle. Was that a magic? I'm impressed that they hit me while we're cloaked and moving at this speed. Very powerful too. Man, if I didn't have a regenerative ability, I could have died in one hit. This is no time to get distracted. Our cloaking's gone. Is that so? So hitting Hura to take out Marna's cloaking then, I'm assuming. For now, let's retreat. Samfati's retreated too, plus, however it happened, another Kubera is dead, so there's no reason for us to be here doing this. We see Cossack looking on. Your Justice and Mine, Part 23. So you're saying that you ran over here simply because you saw the Shura's attack? Because you were worried that Lila would lose some of her lifespan with the summoning spell. How could I lie to a god? After all, you have insight, right? That's true, but your thoughts are all clouded, so I can't believe whether it's true or not. Claude seems to be special as a person. Like, even a god is like, even with insight, Claude's thoughts are clouded. And we had some of the stuff before last read-through that Claude was talking about. So I feel like Claude is like a really special character among the humans. Plus, the fact that you know more about insight means that there's a god who told you directly about it. Humans who don't know about the ability of insight can only learn about it directly from the mouth of a god. It cannot be communicated by any other means. It's the same as when someone has seen a god but can't communicate it. Oh! That is weird and interesting. I thought that it was just common knowledge that, or at least knowledge among people who are into magic stuff, that gods could know what you're thinking and stuff. I thought that that would just be something that everyone knew, but it's something that you just can't communicate to each other. Like, I'm sure this is referencing when we saw, like, I think they were murals and stuff, where it's like, even if you've seen a god, a human can't just, like, there's a block there, and a human can't describe what they look like. But I have no idea who that god is, so you'll have to tell me yourself. Well, I did receive an oracle, but I can't tell you which god it was. I feel as though it would be easiest to assume Yama. Wow, I haven't seen a lower life form this crazy in a while. Are you provoking a god? And now we have bloodstains and he's wrapped in thorns. Traditionally, the most effective way to control blasphemy is with pain. Stop it. I know that Claude is suspicious, but that's not the most urgent problem right now, and Lila's putting back on the mask. At the very least, Claude isn't trying to harm me. So Chandra, carry out the plan that we spoke of before. You've sure grown up. Next thing you know, you'll be talking to me like a friend. If I've committed blasphemy, then judge me in hell. I'm gonna die like my master soon anyway. Oh boy, not that again. Do you think I would have killed her on purpose? People make mistakes without realizing it, you know. A long time's passed in the human world, but you're still pouting about it. I think you've forgotten, but all you have to do is call me, rather than just making a promise with words. Show me with concrete actions. And then he laughs. Consider yourself lucky, you lower life form. You should bow to Lila and thank her. Phew, thanks, Lila. He does immediately. My legs are so sore from kneeling down like that. He gets kicked in the face. You lunatic! How dare you talk back to Chandra? Were you trying to get yourself killed? We have more whacking sound effects. But please. That means the barrier of darkness has gotten stronger, right? And we have Roosh looking on. Looks like she finally used it after resisting for so long. The summoning spell. Even though Lila can't stand Chandra. Anyway, what a relief. With 2 elite gods summoned, we should be safe from pretty much anything, right? The transcendental energy that was coming from the sky has disappeared too. And seeing that the turret stopped automatically aiming itself, it looks like the Shuras who were attacking in hiding have run off in fear. That's true, but what's that light that's been shining in the distance since before? Okay, so that light is God Kubera? Probably? Is he trying to, like, connect the realms or something? And Lise is reacting. What's wrong? Are you hurt? No, I'm fine. I just... Is it because she's getting more name? Why is she making that face? Has Ashura appeared? And then Asha appears. Asha? Bhavati Marut. So what is Asha's plan? Would Asha try to kill more of the Kuberas? It's like they needed it to be down to 2, but does Asha think things would be better if she just takes out all of them? And a bottom chunk of the island is lopped off. We have to be continued. Okay, well that's a crazy cliffhanger, so it's a good thing that I get to read another chapter after this. This one I kind of discussed as I was going through it. It was very good and very dense once again. I do think I prefer last chapter, but I'm interested to see where Chandra and Lila's relationship will go. I think that's one of the more interesting things here. Claude I just think is really, really good. I think his character is just so interesting and neat. And then we have more things that I was kind of cliffhung on, but I feel like I want to keep reading and see what happens next chapter, rather than discuss things that I might just learn in like one panel, since we got cliffhung pretty hard here. And this thing, you know, if chunks of the island fall down, that's going to really screw over Rendalo. But either way, before we get to move on, let's go read the afterword. Also, that chapter felt a lot longer than it actually was. That took like less than 10 minutes to read. It felt like it was another 20 minutes. Lise, it feels like it's been a while because there's so many characters, their presence is fading away. Anyway, the main character of Kubera is Lise. These days, I'm just getting hit here and there. There are several reasons why Marunaga was fine, but Hura died in one blow. I guess the first reason that comes to mind is that Hura was humanoid. Glasses are placed in front of Claude. If he hadn't taken off his glasses, he would have gotten punched in the face by Lila and almost died. There seemed to be quite a few people who thought that Lila summoned Chandra and died. If Lila dies, Chandra's summon would also be released. Please don't fight in the blog comment section. I'll just delete the comment first. But if you keep fighting, I'll block your IP. This is my blog. If you have something to say to me, feel free to swear at me in a private comment. But if you fight with other people in a public space, that'll be problematic. Empathy 280. Okay. Really, really cool stuff like I mentioned before, but I want to keep reading. This one starts at year end 5 Planet Carte. Route. Is it true that you'll sponsor me when we go to Willarv? Asha, good timing. A picture of my daughter just arrived. Would you like to see it? What? So now that Asha and Lise have met in this situation, and that Asha has finally completed a chunk of her plan, are we finally going to get some, like, serious answers to some of this stuff? So now we have Asha and Rao interacting. It's a picture of her not long after she was born, but it took 5 years to get here because the transmission systems were down during the cataclysm. She must have grown up a lot by now, right? I bet she's adorable. Although I'll meet her soon when we go to Willarv. You have a daughter? We still haven't officially gotten married, but we're gonna have the ceremony as soon as I get back. Look at this. It's like she has a mix of her mother's hair and mine. Her hair's curly, just like mine. We see young Asha here. Sometimes, for no other reason. There are people whose very existence I despise. It didn't matter what kind of personality you have, or how you looked. I didn't want to know either. So, if this is all just out of jealousy, that would be beyond insane. Your Justice and Mine, Part 24. And we have the chunk of the island fallen down into the earth now, it looks like. My head hurts. What just happened? Right, Asha. It was definitely Asha, but she's supposed to be locked up. How did she... Of all times to be in an area where I can't use Kubera magic. There's no way to fight her in this state. You don't need to hide yourself, Heidi. Asha's already gone. Thank you, Rush. If it weren't for you, we would have gotten crushed without even moving. Ho ho ho, don't mention it. And if you're so grateful, then tell lots of other people about my good deed. Of course, thank you very much, and we have all the people. Ruseiran, Ruseiran. What happened? Asha's gone. Where? I'm not sure. I just figure she must have left. I didn't even see her attack. I don't have any way of facing Asha anyway, so I wasn't even thinking about that. Then what about Lise? I'm not sure about her either. I feel sorry for Lise, but I thought I would have a higher chance of success saving you and the other people rather than Lise, since she was close to Asha. This much of your face was gone when Bhavati Marut was used. You just barely survived because I used Ashvin's, but you don't remember a thing, do you? Thank you. Phew, how concise. Very concise. Thank you. 2 words. Almost brings tears to my eyes. For now, tell Saha that Asha's escaped. I'll heal the other people here and look for Lise. Alright, well, Hotivayu. So, even Irie would have been potentially killed, at least maimed. Then, Ron, huh? Are you keeping watch properly? Not only did the Transcendental that was attacking the city stop, but the turret also completely stopped attacking a minute ago. Have you found out what might have caused that? The turret stopped? When did it stop? Are you anxious? Is it hard to concentrate? Is there a problem with your vigor? To be honest, I think it's all 3. I've never even imagined him being dead. Saha, how could this happen? He was the strongest person after my brother. He could have beaten anyone. It's not like the Shuras invaded the city either, so how? This whole situation makes no sense. It even makes me wonder whether I'm dreaming. What kind of crazy bastard would do this? It was my mistake. It's all my fault. Wake up, please. We have to stay together. Wake up from your dream. And she thinks back to probably what happened during the cataclysm with him. Let's think about bad things later on. Put that aside in a corner of your mind for now. And just think of happy things right now. Rana, are you okay? I'm a bit nervous, but not to the point that I would make a mistake in my calculations. My vigor's fine, too. Incredible. You really do feel like an older sister at times like this. There's nothing incredible about it. Magicians going into battle need to be able to maintain mental stability for the sake of their calculation speed. I guess that doesn't apply to you, since you don't do any calculations. What's this? What happened? And I guess maybe, because Asha's calculation speed is so insane, and Asha does rely on calculations from what we know. That explains a lot about Asha's personality. Asha basically has had to shove everything down and bury all of her emotions in order to be able to do the crazy murderous things that she's done. What's this? What happened? Are you insane? Who did this? What did you do? We were heading to the Temple of Darkness as Saha instructed. We got a call from downstairs. Rana and Rana are the first witnesses. Lorraine was collapsed on the floor next to him also. What, Lorraine? She says she didn't see who did it because she got attacked also. She's stabilizing right now. Is Lorraine still covering for Asha? That would be insane. Lorraine might be the diest of ride or die. What? Are you people idiots? Why would you let the person you should suspect first just walk away? Ah, jeez. So you automatically excluded her from the suspect since they were engaged. Unbelievable. After she ran away to avoid getting married, and even defended Asha during a trial for murder. That's right. Now I can see the overall outline of the situation. There's no way Asha could have escaped on her own. Lorraine was in cahoots with Asha from the very start. I mean, that part, kinda true, yeah. Lorraine must have done the name search for. That's why she defended Asha, helped her escape, and then even went that far as to kill the leader of our planet, just because he was a threat to Asha. Wait, Asha? Asha escaped? That's right. She just destroyed the first turret and then disappeared. I came here to tell you that, but now... Anyway, so where's Lorraine? Where is she? In this room. She could attack you if you just open the door, so check with Hotishoria. Wait. So she's saying that Asha escaped and killed Saha, and Lorraine is her accomplice. There's no way she could do that when they were engaged. For now, let's hear what she has to say. That comes first. She's gone. I don't see her with Hotishoria. Shoot, hurry up and open the door. Is there a chance, though, that she went... Like, it's not that she's staying loyal to Asha. I mean, she's kind of partially, but it's that she went to go confront Asha now. And, I mean, it's probably not going to work out too well. But she wants answers from Asha herself, potentially. I'm sure it was a Garuda Shura that I saw before, but it wasn't a Stage 5 Rakshasa. Then, does that mean the Stage 5 Rakshasa who was attacking us somewhere else, and this guy was just distracting the turret and drawing our attention to him? Agni said he would come out when the transcendental attack stops, but I'm sure that at least that the attack stopping wasn't because of Yuta. What other reason could there be for them stopping the attack and backing off? I thought you'd just rush out without thinking, but it looks like you're thinking a bit. Have you been reflecting on your actions? Little dragon, the craziest one during the cataclysm. Chandra. To be continued. Okay. It kind of is a rough place to take a break for a week. Makes me want to read more, but I do have to, put in a bit into making this video. So, 3 chapters is 3 chapters for now, and we'll see what happens next time. You know, these were a really good 3 chapters, though, and I'm not in a rush. I'm going to enjoy spending my time with Kubera, and I enjoyed my time here. That was very, very good. But either way, before I end off the video or anything, let's go see what the last afterword says. This afterword says, the thumbnail shows Chandra looking a little more friendly than usual. Chandra has to squint his eyes to make a good impression. My pupils are small, or his pupils are small compared to the size of his eyes, so no matter what he does, he always ends up looking bad. Unless that is Kurigam just saying it about herself. Compared to the recent and future story developments, this 24th episode is relatively quiet. How many chapters are there in this series? And then, Rouge is becoming a hero to the citizens again. Then, when you're not conscious of it, the skinship happens so naturally. If you're conscious of it, Rana is so impenetrable that it's difficult to even approach her. There have been many cases like this before. Then, Chandra's first impression was how thoughtless or crazy he seemed. There was even a prediction that Chandra will kill Cossack, but even so, he's not someone who'd go that far. Empathy 259. So yeah, Either way, I had a ton of fun this week. I loved these a lot. Thank you so much for being here, for watching, for all of the support as always, for things like Phenom, always sharing, all of the helpful comments. I'm sure there's probably even more like translation issues that even I didn't catch this time. So seriously, thank you all. Like if you did like the video, comment down there to tell me what you thought of these chapters, my first thoughts and reaction. Subscribe for more Kubera, much more on the channel. Follow on Twitter if you want. If you want a link to the Discord server, it's free and open for anyone. If you want to help support the channel by dropping a super thanks or by sharing it around, it's very much appreciated. Thank you so much. And if you would like to help support the channel and also get One Piece videos a bit early, get your name at the end of videos, then you can hit join down below to become a member. Go to patreon.com/HakuOfTheTubes, or a link will be in the description to become a patron. Thank you so much to people who are already members and patrons. Thank you to chosen regulars Evan Hawley and Bertie Wooster, Magical Girls, Efranono, JA and DD Band, Cheriton Student, David Langstaff, Slayer Candidates, SG and Stan Cedar, and Pure Elements, Pater Dial, and Elsa the Storyteller. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.